Hello, once again to everyone watching. This is Wednesday Night Shooting. The title of this episode is just 9 days. That is how long Naomi was women's champion. And for those of you who know, I'm a very big Naomi supporter. I think a couple of months ago, I got very upset when she was left off the Total Divas promotional ad as much. And for her to have such what I thought was a quick turnaround from like pretty much basically being ignored, being, just like a little extra component of the show. They pulled the trigger last week at Elimination Chamber, to my shock, made her women's champion. And, apparently she got injured in that match. And, I'm not the type of person to lay blame. Like, this is a dangerous business. So, things happen. But it's really kind of stolen a little bit of my positive. I need the New Day. Where is New Day when you need them to spread some positivity? Like, because they opened the show with it. And, like, they could have dragged it out a little bit longer, but apparently the word is she may be ready to go by WrestleMania 33. I don't even know if they'll put the title back on her, but like, it's just like a dream crusher. It's like when you're a little kid and they tell you if you work hard and you keep at it and you're a good person, good things will happen. But then they don't tell you that's not the end of the fairy tale. The rest of the fairy tale is like you have a 9-day title run and you have to get stripped of the goddamn title. So I know, and it irritates me when I see a lot of people. Since when are people Naomi fans?
Oh yes, yeah. I saw that one.
As if to say, all of this is just people jumping on bandwagons. Well, some people choose to be people's fan, even though WWE isn't pushing them. I know it's like a weird concept to where you don't have to be fans of just the acts that are just getting pushed. I know, but you can be fans of people that like things and stuff. She's a fan of like the vaudevillains, and Breezango. How do you think she would feel if, like, all of a sudden they got a good program and a good run and they got the tag team championship? She would feel the same way I felt. And even if people are jumping on bandwagons, like, it's a good fucking bandwagon to jump on, shit. I'll accept everybody on the Naomi bandwagon. I don't care, because just from watching Total Divas and everything that I've seen of her, she's a very person. She's a very good role model. Like, I don't know anybody that works in the company who wasn't legitimately happy that, they decided to give her this title. Which it always goes to me, fans are like, well, this person sucks and this person is this, that, and the other. Somebody who's like often ignored and not very well regarded in the smart community. An opportunity, and you'll see everybody backstage like loves them, enjoys working with them, and it gives you a different perspective. It was one of the reasons why I stopped talking shit about Brie Bella. So yeah, I'm kind of gutted. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just because I watched it, but I can't give a good spin on it. So could you just talk about SmackDown while I wallow in my misery for a minute?
Yeah. I loved it. Aside from the obviously very upsetting Naomi part, I thought the show was was really good. And even that was really good because her promo was really heartfelt. And like when D-Bry was out there to start, it was like, okay, all right, sure. And he's like, and the way they did it was such a gut punch because he was like, WrestleMania has twists and turns. And at that point, I was thinking he was going to start talking about like the Orton, Mania main event, like that whole bit going down. I was like, okay. And then he's like, so I want to call out the women's shit. I was like, like immediately you knew what was happening. Like, and it was just like, it was really the way those cynical bastards on SmackDown, because I feel like they knew that people would not think like Naomi. They would think like the Orton stuff because that was, that's the top story on SmackDown, and that's obviously been a big curveball. So when they did that, it was like extra crushing. So that was really effective, and Naomi was really, really good, really from the heart, and it worked really well with Brian being the other person in the ring with her, because like you could see the look on his face, and he was just like, yeah, I know exactly how this feels, and because he does, and it's just like, man, this is shitty right now, this is shitty, and so then she like heads up the ring, and you're just waiting for it. And then the music hits. You're like, this fucking bitch. Of course she shows up. So Alexa Bliss comes down, and she cuts a really good promo, and then they have a really fun match with Becky. And I don't know, that whole part took like 33 minutes of the show right there, and I was just like, holy shit, this is a huge chunk of time like that they got. So that was really cool. And then they had, the really awesome, I really, really liked the Falls Count Anywhere match that they had. I really, really liked it a lot. And then they had like a tag match, and the Usos cut, a coked up promo, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And like the whole time I was just like listening to it, I was like, what's going on right now? But like also I was just staring at their hoodies because I was like, I want one of those hoodies so bad. Like if they put those on the shop, I would have bought one like last night, like during the promo.
Do you think they are? Because I think I want to buy.
Right? That's such a good hoodie. I was like, boom, I'm in on that. Like seriously. But I don't know if they are. But then, and then the Battle Royal was really good too. And they kind of fucked up the finish, but whatever. I don't,
Do you want to get into the GM beef?
Oh, the GM war.
Okay. Well, I agree with Mick Foley. I absolutely agree.
Of course you do, traitor.
No. Oh, what? Okay, whatever. But I do agree. But the point is, it's like, if this were a draw battle royal, Roman Reigns would probably be one of the guys that was in the draw. That would be the reason why Raw would get it. Like if Raw had this story, right, where a character like, I don't even know if there's a Luke Harper like character on Raw, a guy who's been ignored for a minute and now he's finally getting like a push in the upper card, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't think Raw has that guy. So it's kind of like a different circumstance. But he's like, I agree with Mick, but I don't agree for the reasons that people would think. Like, I don't think it's because, Stephanie would overrule or him and Mick would make it all about them. I think if they had that exact same finish and the show ended with, it's a draw and we'll have to figure this out, or whatever, or have these guys face each other next week, I think it would be because Roman Reigns was involved and people would figure AJ's spot. You know what I'm saying? And people would figure this is just another way to make somebody else's program about Roman Reigns. That's the reason why it would get eviscerated. But I think if it was a situation where, like, nobody, say KO, and say if it was KO and Jericho. Let's just say if it was KO and Jericho, because they're like the two full timers that seem to like. I don't think people would have had that big of a problem, except for the fact that they're maybe expecting KO and Jericho to have a Mania match. But like, it's really speaks to the bigger thing where you wanted to discuss. We can just jump right into people who get upset about comparing Raw and SmackDown. Uh, yeah. See, I can see both sides of the coin. It does kind of get tiring to constantly have the comparisons. To me, when I watch both shows, they're both wrestling shows, but they're both run by the WWE. But to me, I see them as two different shows. I see SmackDown as like a character driven storyline based show, and I see Raw as like big moments and big matches type of show. So, like, the thing with the women and how much time they get, like, I'm sorry, there are only 3 somewhat developed in Charlotte, but there's only 3 somewhat developed characters on Raw. Now, of course, you say give them more time. If you give all the other women more time, then you can develop them as well. But like, realistically, do you expect them to spend an hour plus on like 4 or 5 people? Like, it's just not going to happen. It happens on SmackDown that they get a lot of time because you look at the show, the women are the mid card on SmackDown. On Raw, the cruiserweights are the mid card. I don't think it's fair when they're telling one story right now with the women. Yeah, they could be telling more stories, but I would rather they tell one good story on Raw right now than just have multiple shitty stories and oh look, we're using all the women. Sucks, and I don't like it. So yeah, the women get more time, and what if they give them stuff that doesn't get over, or gets over in the wrong way, which I suspected the Emelina angle would have. Whereas on SmackDown, yeah, these women are getting more time, but they also have like stories. They have a reason to be getting more time. They have well-developed, well-booked stories. Now, if we can it would be nice to get it to that level on Raw, but like they're still like they have a whole cruiserweight. Like I really do cut them some slack because they are trying to get their cruiserweight division over. They have women's division that's over, and if they could somehow shuffle more women in, that would be better. I would prefer, like, it doesn't bother me that the longer show has the less amount of time because I'm looking for quality and not quantity, if that makes sense. What do you think about it, Andrew?
Well, I mean, sure, you can be looking for quality but not quantity, but even still, SmackDown has Raw beat in that department in terms of. I think this is the thought I was coming to earlier today when I was thinking about this whole brouhaha. Is that like you said, people call Raw like not a storytelling show. They call it like a big moments show, big matches show, and I don't think that's entirely accurate. I don't think, like, sometimes you'll hear the criticism that Raw doesn't tell stories. I don't think that's true at all. I actually think Raw does tell stories, or at least tries to tell stories. And I think if you like the way I assessed the Sasha Banks Charlotte feud last year was basically like disregarding 75% of the television that went on during the feud, like of their segments, because it was just kind of not, it was nonsensical, like a non sequitur. It didn't really fit with anything else. But if you like stripped all the extraneous stuff away, the story they were telling was rather clear, and not even like necessarily a bad story. Like it obviously would not have been the story I would have told, but you know, I'm not the booking. I'm not creative. But the story they were telling was pretty decent, and it did stuff to help flesh out both characters. I just think where's Raw's problem is that it's weekly television, week to week, episode to episode. It just doesn't connect threads. It doesn't build really on stuff. But I don't think I don't think it's not that they're following a storytelling, like narrative driven model. I just think they're following it very poorly. I think the creative team on Raw is kind of.
You don't think the story is secondary to?
Not really.
Not
really. No, I actually don't. I'm actually at the point. Here's the thing. Raw comes across like it's the big match show because the stories they're trying to tell are often told very poorly. That the only thing that gets over on the show really is the big matches because they have so many good workers on the show. But they have such a trash creative team for whatever reason. I don't know why. That they just can't get people invested on a weekly basis like SmackDown can. So I have agreed with the assessment for a very long time that, you know, well, Raw's like moments driven. I don't think that's entirely accurate. I think when you really look at Raw and like really try to assess it on a week to week basis, when you step back just a little bit from that, you can see everything they're trying to do. Whether the stories they're telling are like good stories or whatever, they're still trying to tell stories, but they just do it very poorly.
Yeah, I guess I could see that because they had actually last week a very good thing they told with the KO and Jericho story, which they have kind of been telling
for a very long time.
For a very long time. Jericho and KO, like, it didn't really make sense for those two to be friends. They're so different. First of all, the friendship, like when I was watching it, I was like, this is kind of pointing out all the reasons why they shouldn't be friends.
Yeah.
And then, you know, what happened. And now we have this new chapter of like character arch. And I think these past 2 weeks he's been doing good character work. Mm-hmm. It's very good to see. The Samoa Joe story weaves into his story because I don't think you watched it, but you might have caught this. People's talking about when he was talking with KO. He said he knows how to play the game.
Oh yeah, I heard that. I saw the clip of that. Yeah.
I'm sure that wasn't.
That was an accident, clearly.
So, you know, yeah, and then the story they're telling with Braun and Roman, I can appreciate that they're telling this story of this guy who will never say die and who will fight anybody, anywhere, anytime, even the big badass monster. People were saying, you know, oh, they're constantly making Roman look bad, but like, if they hadn't geeked him out where there was no cause for it before, I would not. Like this with him and Braun, I don't see a problem with it. Like in a vacuum, of course, but wrestling doesn't exist in a vacuum.
Right.
So if they hadn't like chumped him out to like Sheamus and the League of Nations and Triple H and before, I wouldn't have any problem. I still like the concept that it doesn't matter how many times Braun kicks Roman's ass, he's going to keep trying to fight him and beat him. Appreciate that, but like, there's so much. Yeah, you're right. They're just not good at telling their stories. Yeah, you're right. So it becomes the focus from the fans then becomes, well, these stories suck, so let me pay attention to the moments, the small moments that they do get right, like last week with the Festival of Friendship. Samoa Joe, like, I kind of feel like Triple H is personally writing. Like they need to leak another script to see who's writing Samoa Joe's, because like somebody very close to Triple H is making sure that they don't bungle this, at least until WrestleMania.
Right. Joe honestly might be giving his own dialogue to Paul and saying like, "What do you think of this?" You know. I feel like Samoa Joe is the kind of guy who would take that much investment in his character.
I kind of get what you're saying.
I mean, I'm not trying to shit on Raw. I'm trying to actually like give Raw the benefit of the doubt here. Like, it's frustrating because like Raw, like the general opinion, clearly not everybody holds this opinion, but the general opinion of Raw is kind of negative. Is pretty negative, you know, for a whole bunch of different reasons. And the weird thing about Raw is that like they're trying to tell these stories and they don't tell them very well. But the even bigger problem is that they just don't give the fans what they want. Like, you could be telling bad stories, but if you were like doing some legitimate fan service for like a consistent length of time and like just putting a good feeling in like fans' hearts and minds, you know, sort of thing. And you do that by booking. You do that by following fans' desires in booking. Then you can start getting people back on your side, getting public opinion back on your side to the point where like people can start assessing your stories and then start looking at things in a different way. But the attitude toward Raw, and I'm clearly guilty of this at least at sometimes, although I try to give it a fair shake, is pretty negative. And I just don't think either they don't realize that or they just don't care, you know?
Yeah, because like I review the show and like every week, like at 6:30, I'm like, Lord Jesus, please let this be a decent show.
Yeah, see, that's it. That's hilarious. That's interesting because I wake up Tuesday morning and I'm like, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah, get the review, SmackDown Live. Lucky me.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It's Raw. Like the parts I watched of Raw, like the clips I saw of Raw this week, I thought were all like pretty good. It's just, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like things from one week will necessarily matter the next week or the week after. You know, it's like you shouldn't be going like from here to here to here to here, all in like, you know, you should be trying to tell things at least semi-linear, in a linear fashion, you know, because the audience is not going to respond to a whole bunch of different things going on in like one angle that, you know, they kind of want, with good reason. They kind of, you know, like, we're not looking for hugely multi-layered storytelling in our professional wrestling, you know. I mean, clearly we like a little bit of depth and subtlety, but this is not The Wire. This is not Breaking Bad, you know?
Yeah.
And for a reason, like I wouldn't even want to compare the two. It's not possible. They're just totally different mediums. But I don't know. It's frustrating to me because I took particular offense to the one today because because people were like, well, I don't know why are people shitting on the Raw's women's division, and I was just like, please review these bylines for me and tell me like that the author is shitting on the Raw women's division, because it's just, I don't know, it's very frustrating when people don't really pay attention to, like, when people are like, oh, Gino like wrote this review, and it's like, actually Tonya wrote it, and they're like, oh shit, you know, like, it's not hard, people, you know.
Remember, like, it took some people who just love to come and like talk shit about Gino's review. It took them a good 3 weeks to like. Then they woke up, they were like, oh shit, it's somebody else. Hold on, wait a minute. This is too fucking positive. I'm like, wait a minute, did you just say?
These fucking marks. Yeah.
Weeks ago that Gino was too hard on Raw.
Yep.
But yeah, okay. To specifically speak about a serious problem with Raw. Why the fuck are the tag team champions after Roman Reigns?
Who knows?
Like, it's like just out of nowhere last week. Issue with him, and nobody knows what the issue is. Is it because he's disrespectful to Stephanie? Why is it that every like on SmackDown doesn't show their allegiance to Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Dean Ambrose was even fucking with them one night, you know, that night.
Oh, yeah, coming back in. Yeah.
Right. It's confusing to me. Like, why does it's just like, it's stupid. Like, you're already the tag team champions. Like, you got there without kissing Stephanie's ass. Why do you need to do it? Like, what's the purpose? And like, Stephanie, she's even doing things that don't make any sense to me. It's just like, is she doing that just because she's evil? Like, why even hire Mick Foley? Why even hire Mick Foley? You have a history with him. You know what type of guy he is, what type of character he has. And it's going to clash. So it makes no fucking sense that you thought this partnership would work. And like, now you're browbeating Mick Foley for being who the fuck he is. This is like, what? Like, Mick Foley's never been the sharpest knife in the drawer. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And no. And then they're booking him to be just, it really, like, I'm a big Mick Foley fan, so it hurts me to see this. Like, he used to be at least a little cunning. Wasn't like the brightest. He still was like noble.
Yeah.
And he didn't make, when he was the commissioner in 2000, he didn't make everything about him. His decisions were really in service of the faces. All of them. And he never stole the spotlight from anybody. Why are you scripting him to like how tone deaf are you to script him to talk down to two women about Hell in a Cell?
Oh my God. You right?
Like, seriously. And I don't necessarily disagree that he shouldn't have taken all, like, because he's shell-shocked about his experience. So you could have had him talking to, like, there were 6 people that were going to be in the Hell in a Cell. He did not lecture Roman Reigns. That was Roman Reigns' first Hell in, like, he didn't lecture Rusev or Seth Rollins or KO. Do you know what you're saying? Like, that was the moment that I was like, they need to get him off the show. He's not really helping.
But like, even that was partially on creative, and you know, because like the first week he's like, yeah, let's do Hell in a Cell, but with the women.
Right.
And then literally the next week he's yelling at him, and it's like, no, that doesn't make sense. Like, you can't.
You booked the match, right?
Right? You booked the match. You can't then do a bit where he's like, no, you can't do this. You literally were like, yeah, let's do it. That sounds like a great idea, you know? So like, that's not even on even on Mick Foley. That's on creative again. Although maybe it's on Dewey Foley. I don't know. Maybe it is on A Foley, but it's just not. It's out of order. You know, like if all of that was in order, like if Sasha and Charlotte were just beating the hell out of if they were if they were, following like what Nikki and Natalia did and were just like fighting all over the place, and
that would have been a much better,
that would have been amazing. And then Sasha or one of them, I don't even know who the fucking Sasha was champion, so it had to have been Charlotte, but she's the heel, so that doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. At some point, one of them goes up to Mick and is like, "I want Hell in a Cell. Like we gotta settle this, blah blah blah." And he's like, "No, I don't think that's a good idea, blah blah blah." And then like he gets convinced of the necessity for it, which is kind of what they did. Which is actually not kind of. What is exactly what they did with Daniel Bryan with the Falls Count Anywhere match they just had last night. Yeah. So they don't even like put poor Mick Foley in like a place to succeed there, So like even that's not entirely on him. It's very frustrating because there's so much talent on Raw and there's like so much good stuff they could do, but it's like they just don't understand the negative perception that the show has to its fans. And they just don't, I don't know. They just don't seem receptive to any sort of change on Raw. And it's frustrating because it could be so much better. And I don't think anybody wants it to be bad. I would much rather it be good, Like.
Well, I'm sure there's some crazy people out there.
Well, sure. Yeah.
They don't matter. They don't matter. They're not, But yeah, overall, most people who watch SmackDown wasn't just as good.
Yeah.
The thing about it is that the past few weeks they've gotten better because it's the road to WrestleMania. But somebody is scripting is said better. Like there's been a change. And I refuse to believe it's just Seth Rollins being injured. I refuse to believe that. But there's been a certain change, and I feel like things have improved. This is what I wanted to ask you. Do you think with a belt that's not even a year old in the Universal Championship, do you think they're going to take this title off of TV weekly?
After
WrestleMania,
I can't tell if I'm just like hoping that they don't put it on a part-timer, or if I've worked myself into a shoot. Like, no, there's no way they'll do that. They're gonna go against all expectations, and Owens is gonna retain at Fastlane, somehow. I don't know how, but somehow. But which was nice because they did do something similar with that with the Bayley segment with Steph, when Bayley was like, hell no, it was just like it subverted everybody's expectations for what Raw would do. Not necessarily what the character would do, but what Raw would do. So I thought that was a nice touch. So that's kind of what I'm hoping they do with Owens and Goldberg at Fastlane. Everybody, I'm going to be watching that betting line very closely. I assure you.
KO in his promo, like they've even opened up a window for it.
Right.
KO says, buddy, you've only been in short matches. You can't last in a real match with me. All I have to do is survive your initial flurry.
Yep.
Which, like, God, I hope to hell if he does get beat, he doesn't get chunked. Because he's like, I know I've talked shit about Kevin Owens, but I was talking about the character.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Kevin Steen, I've never lost my love for him, and I think he's very talented and deserves the spot that he's in, and he deserves as how he is right now.
Yeah.
He deserved he actually deserves a substantiated run as a fucking mean ass psychopathic teddy bear. And
Mm-hmm.
I like I don't I don't think Goldberg or Brock need a title. I I kind of get, where people are saying it will bring more importance to the title. Take it off TV.
Yeah.
Don't take it off TV. Just please don't. It was not good the last time it was off. Like, the most important belt on the show is still the Raw Women's Championship. It still is.
Yeah.
It's like they're working, but I think with Kevin Owens and you have Samoa Joe, and seriously, if somebody back there would just get a fucking clue and see what Sami Zayn could be, like,
Oh my
show
God.
them his NXT run on the loop, because I keep saying it. That's you have no one better for a face on
Yeah.
Raw. And there's no male babyface on this show that's better. Unless you want to make Braun a babyface.
I mean, I kind of feel like if you're having him come out grabbing like fake Christmas trees and beating jobbers with them, it's kind of a babyface thing to do, right? Like,
Nobody
you can't boo that. You can't boo that. It's not possible.
And he got rid of Titus O'Neil for us.
Right? Seriously. Man's a damn hero.
That man event. Oh my God. Now, you're gonna say I'm not impressed by a Kip Up. I'm sorry. I don't care how big you are. They do that in wrestling school. I'm not impressed by a Kip Up. But I was impressed by him in the match.
Mm-hmm.
He wrestled a WWE like main event caliber match. And this guy was like awful when he first came.
Yeah, he was god awful.
He's a very good learner, and whoever he's been working with, like behind the scenes closely, kudos to all of those people in working with him, because like this time last year, there was going to be a riot in the street. You think people are mad about Roman Reigns possibly facing the Undertaker last year?
My God, people were fucking furious.
I seriously thought people were going to like boycott WrestleMania if Braun Strowman faced the Undertaker. No way, he sucks. No, he doesn't deserve it. I was like, wow. Like, Undertaker's old though, y'all. somebody gotta beat him eventually and send him to pasture. He can't keep showing up. He just can't. Especially, like, I have nothing against older wrestlers showing up, but like, if you show up and it's obvious that, like, they say some people have lost a step. Mm-hmm. The Undertaker only has a step left. That's it. And that's punching. Like, seriously. No. Like, it's such a, like, SmackDown is making Luke Harper a freaking over babyface.
Yeah.
Grungy, scary Luke Harper is getting chanted.
Luke,
And Raw is just, to me, even though people cheer Randy Orton, to me, Randy and Bray, like, people say, well, is Braun a heel? Why are Randy and Bray heels? What do they do that's evil and heelish? What have they done recently to make you boo them?
Nothing really.
Right? So what makes them a heel? I've thought about that. I was like, what makes a person a heel these days? Like, because on Raw, like, what makes Brock Lesnar a heel? People boo him. Like, I'm talking about in kayfabe, because there's a lot of reasons to boo him outside.
Yeah.
You know, why should, you know, what are these people doing to make you hate them? And then you can look and see, well, I don't like this and this and that. And it's all about booking, but like that don't make nobody a heel. Like you actually have to do, like, I don't think necessarily you always have to cheat, but you have to be like Charlotte. Charlotte to me is a heel because she walks around and thinks she's better than everyone. Like at a certain level of competition, yes, you're supposed to think you're the best, but you're not supposed to think everyone else is like gum on the back of your shoe. Like Charlotte, like you're not worthy to breathe the same air as her. Like her arrogance and like so like she just stands there with her nose up, and I'm like, you've seen your father do that so much. Like about that, why should I cheer for this person if they're facing this person, but this person hasn't really done anything that's sensible? Like, and people were like, well, who's like in the Wyatt family triple threat? Like, who's the bad guy here? Like, because if you go back to the base of the story is that he's trying to corrupt Randy Orton. For some reason, Randy had something he wanted. And through mind games and manipulation, they played with each other. It seems like it turned into like a mutual admiration thing. Like, at a certain point, I don't think Randy's a lot of it. And maybe he's just that good, but it doesn't seem like he's faking it.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like he's embraced the dark side. And like, Bray was so happy. Like, yes, I finally converted somebody new. Because forever he's had like Luke and Eric Rowan, and then he had Braun, who came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, as far as like established stars, he tried to get what was it, Daniel Bryan first, right? No, it was Kane first. He tried to get Kane first, and that didn't work. Then Daniel Bryan, that didn't work. Tried to mess with John Cena, and that didn't work. Tried to get Roman Reigns, and that didn't work.
Tried to fuck around with Undertaker, and that didn't work.
That didn't work.
Twice.
That didn't work.
Yeah.
He started fucking with Randy Orton, and Randy Orton's like, I can't beat him, join him. And Bray is so excited.
Yeah.
He trusts this man. And Randy has come and pretty much like uprooted how Bray used to rock, because he used to always rock with Luke. That was like his right-hand man. Even when the original Wyatts, you could kind of tell like there was like levels, and that Bray was number 1, Luke was number 2, and Eric Rowan was number 3. It was kind of it didn't have to be spoken. It was just like a physical thing where you kind of understood each of their roles. So he's turned on his right-hand man for Randy Orton. So does that mean Randy's the good guy for breaking these guys up, or does that mean Randy's bad for manipulating and tricking Bray? Why is Bray bad? Because Randy Orton wasn't like a saint. It's not like he corrupted an innocent person. You know, this guy calls himself the apex predator. So it's like, this is the best story because it's so good on so many levels. Like, wow. Who wrote? I would like to know, like, is it like Road Dogg and Ryan Ward working together? Like, do they do it committee style? Is it just one person that's so, like, because God, this is the feud of the fucking year.
Oh, for sure. I just posted, everybody listening, I just posted in the thread Randy Orton's turn from last October 2016 when he came in and RKO'd Kane. And I want everybody to watch that and look at the reaction that Bray has. And he's just like, holy shit, it worked. It worked on somebody. Like, he's so excited, you know? So it's like, that's what you were saying, like when Bray was just like, oh my God, I converted somebody. Like, it's just, everything is about this story has been so, like, just delicious, you know? I don't know. It's so bizarre because we hated this story when it started.
You hated it. I was just like,
all right, okay, yeah. I don't know if I hated it. I was just like, whatever. I know what's gonna happen here.
And I was like, he's just gonna chump Bray out again. And I was like, well, I don't know. You know, they're giving everybody else stuff. And at the time, they were even giving Dolph good stuff. But...
Oh, shit, right? Not anymore.
Okay, yeah. Can we address Dolph Ziggler just for a few minutes?
We need to.
Because, like, I kind of always feel bad because when I came back in 2013, Dolph was like, I saw him on the, on my limited viewing, and I was like, my first impression was, he has the stupidest fucking name I have ever fucking heard, but goddamn, he can go. Like, cause all I watched was pay-per-views, and like, from like 2011, I think, until I came back. Like, every pay-per-view I saw Dolph on, he was having some pretty good matches, And, I didn't know the character stuff except, I saw him with Vicky Guerrero, and I was like, not as good as her and Edge. Nothing's gonna compare to her and Edge. I'm sorry, but I was like, maybe because they put him with Vicky, they thought something of him. And then I came back in 2013. He did the cash in, and I was like, wow, that's, he's going places. And then he got the concussion, and ever since that concussion, man, the most flip-floppity up and down. And it's not just with his stories. It's with him as a performer, in my opinion. Just the most flip-floppity, I'm giving it my all this week, and I don't give a shit the next week with him. And he seems like comfortably in his I don't give a shit mode. And maybe that's the heel turn, but I don't think he wanted to turn heel. I don't think his heart is into it. I think he, like I told you before, he thought he was going to I think he probably thought he was going to be in Dean Ambrose's role right now. Like, second, 1A is John Cena as the face, and he's going to be like 1B. He thought maybe Dean Ambrose was going to be 1A. He was going to be 1B, and John Cena would just pop in every now and then. But no, when John Cena pops in, he's going to be 1A. And we're turning you heel. So, like, I don't think he's very enthusiastic about putting Apollo Crews over. I think that's his end goal. Because his end goal was, at first, like, he came pretty much to put over Dean Ambrose when the draft first happened. That's why he got a title shot. Dean has to hold this title until we can give it to AJ Styles. But we can't give it to AJ Styles at SummerSlam. See John Cena. So he needs an opponent. Oh, Ziggler, come here. Hey, you. You want a championship match? So then he was there like the Miz needed a foil to face for the Intercontinental Championship, and he very well couldn't have faced Daniel Bryan. So oh, Ziggler, come here. Yeah, you want some more championship matches? we'll even put your career on the line and give you the damn title. But after that, oh yeah, we need another face. We need another of like mid-level somebody right under Dean Ambrose's face. Dolph's like, well, that's me, isn't it? No, we're gonna turn you heel because it's gonna be Apollo Crews. Yeah, and like you can tell when he like they haven't had him on Talking Smack in a long time.
Mm-mm.
He doesn't kayfabe shoot. He shoots.
Shoots, yeah. Shoots, yeah.
And he's talking about my character, and people are like, motherfucker, you are Dolph Ziggler. What are you talking about your character?
You're right, yeah.
So that promo, like this is my thing. Sometimes I would just have to tell Vince no, like flat fucking no. Like if he comes to me, and in my script there are the words "suffering succotash," or you want to know who didn't call himself a giant? Andre the Giant. I'm gonna say no. I don't give a fuck how much I want my spot. You can push me. I'm not saying this shit. So if somebody comes to you and like, you know what would be a good idea for you to do, Dolph? Is to super kick the green screen away. No. I'm not doing that. We're coming up with something else for my promo. Do like Randy Orton. Nah, baby. Sometimes like like they get that petty because I know some people were saying that Vince was upset at Braun for saying title shot. But what I'm not gonna do is call it a title opportunity. So what you want me to call it? A title match? Like, and if you look at me crazy, I'm gonna look at you crazy. What you gotta know about Vince? Views have we heard when they say a lot of former wrestlers like MVP? He's one guy. He was like, no, I'm not gonna trash Vince. I loved working for the WWE. Vince listened to my ideas all the time. I had no problems working with him. Like, all you gotta do is like assert yourself. If he has a problem with it, I'd be like, I'm sorry, I am not super kicking a motherfucking green screen. I don't care how cute and funny you think it is. I'm not doing this shit. Like, is this a rib? Y'all trying to rib me? This is a joke, right? You've got to be kidding me. Like, no, Dolph. And like, and this is not somebody who's like, I've never liked Dolph. I actually liked him. I wanted them to do something with him for the longest time, but he doesn't seem to give a fuck. So it's like, it's like the whole Brock thing. If you don't care, I possibly cannot care.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm of two minds of that promo last night. Like, part of me is just like, that was the worst thing I've ever seen. And another part of me is just like, this is intentionally bad. Like, I can't quite tell, you know? Like, this is so bad, but it can't be like an accident that it's this bad, right? I don't know. Because it was so, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. I just watched it and I was just like, well, I feel worse for having seen that now, you know? Like, it almost took the show off of not a perfect grade. An 80 is not a perfect. There is no perfect grade. All right, people, let's get this. There's no such thing as perfection. It just means it's very good.
Yeah.
But I almost bumped it down just for that.
Because I think, not this week, because I gave this week a 9 on Raw. And, like, I don't think people understand the way I rate things. Like, I seriously don't think anything's perfect. I've never seen anything that's perfect. I've seen things that are close to perfect. But they've been keeping up with the story, and they're trying to weave things together and kind of make it seem like there's an actual like universe
world. Yeah. There's
an actual world going on Raw now, and like people actually bump into each other and talk to each other backstage, and they know the goings on. So I appreciate that part, and I also appreciate it that they have two cruiserweight stories that seem like the crowd seems to at least moderately care about it. Well, some people don't think it's a good idea that Kendrick beat down Tozawa Monday, but I'm just gonna reserve judgment because I saw his clip when when Brian Kendrick came to him and asked him to be his protege. He was like, "No, he's over with me now." That nope. I want them to have situations where people just ask him like, "Hey, Tozawa, you like this spinach dip?" Nope. And just walk away. Like, just come up with situations for him to say nope to. Like, I'm willing to see where they go with that. And also, like, I don't care what anybody says, I am loving that Gallagher. I am loving
Right?
it.
Oh, for sure.
And like, I can see what Neville was saying about he has a valid point about Jackie Boy may be a caricature for certain people of what they expect of the British, but like these people must live under a rock because like that's like a British person from like what you would expect. Like if somebody came in a time machine, yeah, but you know, not like you would kind of expect them to be like Neville.
Yeah.
Which is like, yeah. So I can kind of see his grind.
A tough ruffian.
Yeah. Right. Rough around the edges. A little bit resentful of Americans for no reason.
Yep. For sure. For sure.
Like, yeah. So I enjoyed that dynamic, and Jackie Boy was like, "Screw you, dude. This is me. This is how I was raised. What are you talking about?" And he's like, "What I don't appreciate is your attitude and how all of a sudden you think the world owes you something." And I really like it's kind of simple yet effective. And I know people were kind of worried with Neville, like, "Oh, he's doing an evil foreigner gimmick." But they put him up against his fellow countrymen. So let's calm down. Not as bad as Rusev is.
Poor Rusev. Poor Ruru.
Oh, Rusev deserves better. But like he especially now that like Samoa Joe is on the show, he's never gonna be what like not on Raw, he's never gonna be that guy. Like the big Bulgarian brute who comes and just is a badass and kick people's ass and crush like he was when he first came. He's never going to be that guy again. Especially since he showed Vince that he's funny.
Yeah.
You cannot show Vince that you have some comedic timing because
that's what you will be.
Especially if you have an accent.
Yeah, like, especially if you're a foreign guy.
Like, yeah. And like people who are resentful of Lana, like she might be looking out for him. The only reason Baby Boy probably ain't like what Vladimir Kozlov ended up being, or the heel version of Santino, is because of Lana. Because you can't make him a joke and his wife is that hot. You can't make him a complete joke and his wife is that hot. You can't. Not in Vince's mind. That's why he was trying to break him up.
Because he wanted. Because Vince wanted him. Oh my god, that's my favorite theory.
It wasn't because Lana was so high. He was trying to get him another Santino.
That's my favorite theory. Oh, I love that.
Because people were like, "Vince is so high on Summer Rae. What? When he's high on people, he don't pull them off TV just because of one angle flop. If that was the case, Roman Reigns would have been fired years ago." So yeah, uh, I think he likes Rusev. He doesn't, especially when he found out Homeboy was funny. He don't
Yeah.
see Rusev's too short and he's funny, comedic timing.
Yep.
Vince is like, God damn, I could have me another Santino right now. If this woman, she just messing it up. I gotta make it somewhat serious. But like, yeah, that angle they had the that's another sign that like somebody different is writing the show than this fall. They actually had like current topical humor with the Russian hacking gimmick.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like I was like watching like, come on now. Don't you do this? When she was like, she pulled up her little tablet and was like, we have the ingredients right here. And I was like, no, don't you dare do this. Don't tell me she hacked the new day. Like, I know some people were talking in the thread, like, trading New Day to SmackDown. I would hate that. Because, like, that's my fun Raw moment. Like, even if Raw is bad, as long as I hear, whatever city they're in, don't you dare beast. I was like, yes. Like I have completely turned a corner on New Day where I was getting tired of them for a while.
Yeah, you're back on them now. Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't know what it is. I guess it's just a happy moment on the show that I know it's gonna be funny. Like they're all three of them are solid in the ring. The only bad match I really saw them have was like some tag team clusterfuck, and it really wasn't even their fault that the match was bad. Like they're three solid workers. They're all funny, over as hell, and like, oh, by the way, to everybody who has a problem with New Day hosting WrestleMania, poo on you. Three black men hosting the grandest stage of them all. Oh, but they could have been in a meaningless match that nobody would have remembered the next day.
On the pre-show.
You know what I mean? It doesn't even matter if it was on the pre-show or whatever. Like, compared to what happened last year, I wish they had been hosting last year.
Right? Seriously.
The Rock. Yeah. I could have in there like, well, they're just going to geek them out. Oh, no. Did you not see them win Monday? They're hosting WrestleMania. They're going to be doing so much press leading up to it.
So much.
This is not going to want to be jobbing out three black dudes. So some little sports writer's like, why is the New Day seen as losers? You know, is it because they're black? That's the last thing Vince wants. He is going to make them look like $1 million freaking bucks. At least until WrestleMania. Now, on the show, if they come in contact with The Rock, I'll have to worry about that. But other than that, I am so happy for them. This is like the best possible scenario for the three of them right now. They're going to get a WrestleMania check. They do not have to wrestle. They're going to be in multiple segments. They're going to be doing so much press. They are, as I said in my review, they are getting their Bella brand on.
Ooh, yeah.
You know how like the Bellas have just like branched out and done so many things here and there, and that's one of the big reasons why they're still over. Is because they were smart enough to know, hey, especially when they started Total Divas. I know a lot of people hate that show. Total Divas did way more. Like people thought that was gonna. Oh, that's it. That's the death of women's wrestling right there.
Right. Yeah.
A reality show. Like, how dare you, as a professional wrestling fan, judge reality TV? It's basically the same concept. It's an improv show. The only difference is reality shows is all promos. Well, when I Love and Hip Hop, they actually fight on that show. But most reality shows is all promos, and they have very small promos leading up to the big promo at the end, which is usually the reunion show where everybody throws shit. Oh, it's so glorious. I love, like, you cannot get me to dislike reality TV. I've loved it just as long as as long as the real world started. Reality TV. It's a kayfabe world. It's not really real. Even if you take real people, like you take 7 strangers and put them in a house, that's not real. These people are poor and they're in their early 20s struggling. They can't afford this mansion. They can't afford to go out to these clubs. The producers are, so and so said this about you. So and so doesn't like the way you cook eggs, and stupid stuff like that. But there's manipulation there, and then people got so savvy with it to where like the show The Heels, it was the Lucha Underground of reality TV to me. It was so obviously fake, but I stopped watching it. It was like none of these people are actually with who they're say they're with. They have separate like it was so great. Like so the fact that wrestling started doing reality TV stuff, like, oh, the first season of Tough Enough, I was there. I was like, yes. Total Divas has done so much to help women's wrestling. It's done so much to help Nikki Bella and Naomi and Paige. Like, that helped. And like, I can understand why some women wouldn't want to be on that show. I'm not judging them. That's not you. But you're probably not going to be as big as a name as Nikki Bella because you're not on a reality TV show and they're booking you like shit, Sasha Banks. Change her mind. She might want to change her mind. I'm just saying.
Wait, Tonya, do you mean jobbing clean to Nia Jax in foreign countries on house shows is bad?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're a face, yes.
If you're a face.
Absolutely.
Oh, poor Sasha.
Yeah, poor Sasha.
She needs to get her attitude right. That was my weird segue into talking about how Nikki Bella loves Cageside.
Yeah. Oh my God. I love Nikki Bella.
Right? She loves us.
Right.
She legitimately loves us.
See, like I was going to be like once a month, I was going to some of my favorites who are not as popular in the smart world. I was going to once a month write about why I love them. And next month it was going to be Nikki Bella, but I'm going to change it to Naomi for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But, because I did the Roman Reigns thing and he hates smarks. So, like, I know I'm not going to get a mention from him.
But are we smarks?
I've been told yes, because I was an anti-smart for a while.
I remember that.
But I just don't call myself that because it causes people that I actually like and respect to feel some type of way about it. So it's like I'm and these people that I speak with, especially a lot of people in the daily, I think that's like Bond he explains it a lot better than I. It doesn't mean that I am against the smart. It is in hero and anti-hero.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a smart, but I am not your typical. Because if you go on YouTube, the smarks on YouTube or the YouTube wrestling community or whatever, I can't fucking stand any of those guys. Like, they think that their opinion is the law and how it should. Like, I watched a video about the top 10 reasons WrestleMania 33 was going to suck. And like all the reasons they named was like, I'm probably gonna enjoy all of this. But it had so many likes, and I'm like, why are these people? So this and like so like I never dug John Cena, but I would have like if I went to a show, I would have never booed him. I would sing John Cena sucks because that's kind of like out of respect. But he was at the house show, there was no part of me that wanted to say Cena sucks when he was out there. Like, so I'm not the typical smart. I realized this, and that's where the idea came from. I still believe in it. I just don't put a name to it because smarks will actually get it and be like, yeah, I'm against other smarks and fuck you and fuck the ICW and this, that, and the other. I'm like, what the? Hold on, wait a minute. No, I was talking about being positive and being nice about the wrestlers and each other. Like, the only real part I'm not nice about in wrestling is like the booking and management. Like, fuck management. Like, fuck everybody in WWE management. They're rich. They got health care. They're like, you know, they're on a fucking salary. Fuck all those. They're not hurting their bodies. They're certainly not now. And most of those motherfuckers are the ones that are really playing politics, and like there's truth to like political hits. And I don't think Roman Reigns is even the only person who's had a political hit. Him. But it's just fuck management. But like as far as fans, I wish we could respect each other's opinion. Even though like I don't agree with it, but that's your opinion, that's how you feel. Okay, we'll just agree to disagree. But I'm not gonna. This is an idiot. And these people, you know, and all of that. I don't like. No, I can just move on. It's just entertainment. It's not that serious. And disrespecting the performers, like some of the vile and vitriol that comes out about like Eva Marie. What the fuck has she ever? What the fuck has she ever done to these people? Except like be terrible. Like she was terrible. She got a little bit better, but like you would think she came into your house and beat your mother senseless and stuff. Like she fuck her and I hope this, that, and like one time I read a comment on Cagesiders. It was deleted. But you know, I can see all deleted comments, by the way. So somebody once had said that when AJ Styles was facing Roman Reigns, that they hoped Roman tucked his head.
Whew.
On the Styles Clash. And I was just like, this is somebody's fucking father and husband, and he has a family, and you want this man to be fucking paralyzed because he annoys you? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, there are times I hated Stone Cold Steve Austin. I never when he walked out on the company, sad. And like I found out what happened, I was like, well, fuck. I didn't even like him when he walked out on the company, but I was like, fuck, they ran him into the ground. Like, that's not right. You know, I don't like Hulk Hogan. I don't think he's a good person. But still to see him walk to the ring with his back like a question mark, it still kind of makes me feel like, you know, poor guy, like he's fucking beat all the shit. Like I can at least respect what he did in the business, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just a basic level of respect sometimes I think don't have for the business, for each other, that really should be there. This is why I love cage side seats, because Gino and Sean don't play that shit.
That's very true. Yeah.
They do not play that shit. This is like a safe haven for me. So yeah, right on Gino and Sean. I could not put those guys over enough.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I got a question for you. Is Becky Lynch Sting level dumb?
I actually don't think Sting was that dumb.
Okay,
It was Becky's.
Like,
is
Becky Lynch level dumb then?
Yeah. Like she has her own like, yeah, it's happening way too much on a consistent like basis. Like she needs to be pro Becky. Like, yeah.
Sooner rather than later, too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yes, most definitely.
it's interesting because you see all the Becky fans like complaining about her booking, and it's like it makes sense. I understand why they're frustrated, but I don't know. Is she like being mistreated? Do you think so?
No, I don't. I think she's still like the story. Essentially, the story is still running through Becky Lynch, even with Naomi as champion. The bigger picture of the division, like she's like the backbone of the damn division. Like is like I understand, like maybe she should win more, but are certain faces who didn't need to win a lot. Mick Foley lost a lot. And like, yeah, I know big stars, but like, yeah, you need big stars, but you also need your Mick Foleys. And what is wrong with Becky having that position? Like, that's a good spot to have. She's working regularly. She's loved by the crowd. She was good. Like, they was planning on Naomi coming into WrestleMania as champion, but Becky walking out as champion, vis-a-vis Alexa Bliss. So like, I don't know. Like sometimes I think if my favorite doesn't win, it sucks.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
person I wanted to win doesn't win, it sucks, and I don't necessarily agree with that. Um, I think as long as they're like you can lose, but what happens after the loss? Character going to go after that, and I think they have plans for Becky. I think she's like one of the people, her and Mickey James, and specifically the feud with Becky. Like we don't even know what Mickey James' contract situation looked like, do we? Like
no.
so she could just be here just to put Becky Lynch over. So like no, I think the whole division is built around her, and like I don't know. I guess she if she got like a Charlotte like title run where she just beats everyone, makes them look like shit. She beats
no sells everything.
right. Becky's in a good spot. She's division. She's one of the main focal points of the division. They were planning on giving her the WrestleMania moment. They may not give it to her now, but you know, she was the first SmackDown Women's Champion. They'll never be able to take that away from her.
It's true.
And I honestly think she might be one of the first of the four horsewomen to go into the Hall of Fame, simply because isn't she older than them?
No, she's Charlotte's the oldest.
Really?
Yeah, Charlotte.
As long as Becky's been so Becky started when she was a baby, huh?
Yeah, Becky started when she was like 16.
Oh,
She
okay.
just turned 30 in January.
Oh,
And
wow.
Charlotte turns 31 on April 5th. So yeah, so Charlotte is the oldest.
But I think Becky's fine. What I would like to see from her is to take more of a leadership role, because she's on a roster with like some workers. They're not, the most work rate.
No, it's not a very work rate focused division. Yeah.
Yeah. And it just seems like, I don't know what it is about her work, but I don't think I think she should be in the John Cena role, where she should be able to pretty much have a good match with like anyone, but it's not happening.
Yeah.
And that's all. Like, I would like her matches to be structured better. But I'm fine with her booking. Like, but yeah, I'm fine with her booking. She's like the backbone of the division. Like, they've made that pretty clear from the start. And people like feared, like, oh, WrestleMania, Nikki Bella is gonna win the championship and take it away from Becky. No, she's not. She's not.
It's so funny. Remember, like, going back right to when the split started and people were like, God, Nikki Bella's going to bury everyone in the division or whatever. She hasn't even had a fucking title match.
Nope.
Not a single one.
Been off. Not a damn one. Doesn't need it. And yeah. But yeah, I would like them to agent her matches a bit better.
Yeah,
show where she's in like the John Cena role, where like she shows she's the leader of in the ring. Well, that would probably require her to win more, though, wouldn't it?
Not even necessarily. I mean, like, it's very strange because obviously clearly the best match she ever had was TakeOver Unstoppable, but it's not like in that match it was just like Sasha selling for her. Obviously she was selling for her, but like Becky's offense was like dynamic, you know? And like it kind of seems like she's settled into like this whole straight fire gimmick. Like the catchphrase is fine, but like the whole thing in the ring where she like slaps the mat and does like kind of a weak forearm in the corner, it's like, nah, you know? It's like, it's weird because, like you said, she can be so much more in the ring, and like we know this, and but it's just not coming. So it's just very strange it's a very strange position for her. I don't know.
I'm sorry, somebody was like, "No more Charlotte title runs." Like,
yeah, in all caps. Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
And that should be for at least a year. She does not need that title. Good gracious.
Okay, when you say that title, do you mean the Raw Women's Championship or just a Women's Championship?
Any championship. She don't need not damn one of them. She don't even need to be the valet of a champion, of a male champion. She don't even need that. Like, develop a secondary story, for fuck's sake. God damn. Like, that's why I'm like, I'm cool with them, the women, more time. If it's just gonna be one story, they're gonna no, because then I keep telling people right now, women's division on Raw equals more time for Charlotte, and I'm good on that. I really am. Like, I love her to death, but it's been Charlotte. Like, the way they say Roman Reigns is shoved down other people's throats, Charlotte has been shoved down, and I love her. But goddamn, it's enough. You know, it's good. We good. We got it. We got the message.
We understand. Charlotte's the best ever. Yeah.
Right. Shit. Let it breathe a little bit. Good goddamn.
That's not to go back to this, but that's like another thing where, because like people are always like, oh, Raw runs the same matches like over and over and over again. Sure, that's true, and I think that is a little bit more true than it is of SmackDown, but SmackDown also does run the same matches. The difference there is that the weekly story presents those matches in different places. You know, like a match will happen and then something will happen next week that necessitates another match. It's not just like Raw starts and they're like, all right, we have these matches tonight. You know, it's like they just book a card like a house show.
Yeah.
So like that's another thing where it's like, it's not, I don't know, like Raw gets dinged for things, and I understand like Mick's point about like if we did this, like we'd get eviscerated for it, but it's also because not just of it being done, but just the way it's done. I don't know. And I just can't tell if like the company understands that or not, or if they just don't care. That's totally possible. They just might not care, you know. But I don't know. It's interesting. I wonder.
Yeah, I could tell, Mick. It didn't just spring up one day where people decided that, oh, we as Smarks all got together and decided that SmackDown was going to be better than Raw, no matter what. No, no, it's what we've been given. So like, honestly, I think happened on Raw, it would have been eviscerated because the up and coming guy that's getting a push would have tied with Roman Reigns. That's what would have happened because they're so fucking tone deaf. Now, if I think they could have gotten, there was two guys that people wanted to see face each other that hadn't faced, like maybe Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn. They booked that finish with Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn. Who would have complained? Because people are already want to see them face each other. That's a natural progression in the story. Like, yeah, some people would have been eviscerated. Get out of here with that. It's a reason. It's a method to the madness. The first week of the brand split, everybody was saying Raw was better.
Yep.
You just couldn't keep it up. Baylor got injured, and then like they fucking panicked. And they were like, "Shit, I have to draft people that wrestle main events. We gotta put Roman back in the main event." Main event wrestlers on SmackDown.
And no mid card on SmackDown.
I'm another mid card.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's funny. I wonder if maybe I should DM Nick and try to start a dialogue.
He would trust that now after certain people about Summer Rae.
Yeah.
I don't think he would trust that.
Yeah, but, well, I mean, I've had a running dialogue with him on DMs, you know, so.
Oh, have you after that? Since then?
Not like lately, but it has happened.
That's what I'm saying.
Within the last, I don't know, 8 months, something like that.
Since then. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, but we're journalists, Tonya. God. We're journalists of a highly reputed website. That gets,
I would have never.
Right? Yeah, that was really shitty.
These DMs and tweeted them out. The nerve of this son of a bitch.
Right? That's really shitty.
Of this asshole. Mick Foley's like, for all his shit, at least he's not Shane McMahon, who I'm almost positive he does not watch the product. And when I mean the product, I mean SmackDown. He was sitting there flippantly saying, I don't watch Raw. Yeah, you don't watch SmackDown Live either. Even when you're on it. I need to see his financials because it's getting obvious that somebody need daddy money or something. Like, for real. Why you come back? He was like, he ain't interested in helping this show. Unlike Stephanie. But Stephanie gets told to pipe down, and that's about enough for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But at least she watches the damn show and knows the storylines going on. Shane was sitting next to Baron Corbin on Talking Smack, acting like he had never met this show before. Well, yeah, I look forward to watching your rise. And you're like, what the fuck? You are the babyface GM. And this motherfucker just said he is going to headline your brand by himself. The response you give, oh yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you do next. Okay, let me just say this because it ain't happened yet. It might be one of those panicky things, but for all those people,
Oh,
AJ
yeah.
Styles, and if this were any other part timer, like anybody else, I'd be like, cool, go for it. This is Shane McMahon. I cannot fucking stand him. And I don't care how big of a match it is. I'm going to fucking hate it off principle. This is one of my favorite wrestlers with somebody. I've hated him for so I cannot explain enough to you. Like there are very few people in wrestling that give me this reaction. Hulk Hogan is one of them. Yokozuna used to be one of them, but that was because Bret Hart. But you know, he's a part of my favorite wrestling family, so I can't hate him anymore. King Mabel, aka Viscera, aka Big Daddy V. I hated him with a passion of burning sun.
Wait, why did you hate him?
Because I'm gonna tell you why.
All right.
When he was facing Diesel at SummerSlam, and it was the most god awful piece of shit. Like, and I was like 10 watching this tape from good wrestling, but I knew this was the most god awful trash I had ever seen. And he was just the worst. He was slow. He was just the worst. And then like he was just there for no reason. And then I found out he was in Undertaker's little clique, and that's why he was there. I was like, by the way, like people talk about the clique, but those 5 guys, each of them had their own talent. Undertaker, BSK, outside of like Rikishi and the Godfather, those guys were talented. I thought I was like, these motherfuckers got their spike because they friends with the Undertaker. I hated him forever and ever and ever. And then they started putting him in like thongs and shit. And I was like, sweet Jesus, why? Why do I have to watch this? And Shane McMahon is also on that list just because he was just the worst ever at every. Like people like Shane used to be a good talker. When? Show me the promos. Show me the receipts. I don't remember this. Charismatic, no. That's the Attitude Era glow. You liked him because Kurt Angle suplexed him through glass at King of the Ring. Don't lie. And he jumped off of stuff. Which, like, I love Sabu, but he was a shitty wrestler, too. I'm sorry, ECW fans, if you're out there.
I never really cared for ECW. Does that make me a monster?
No, because here's the thing. What I liked about ECW was the actual wrestling. Like, yes, at one point they did used to wrestle. I like the wrestling and I like some of the personalities because more of real people than what I was getting in WWF at the time. You know, they had
true.
Everybody, like most of the wrestling, like when people said extremely crappy wrestling, they were not lying. But like the character work was what was so good. I thought like the extreme violence and people. I was never really for all of that. When people like they should just get rid of hardcore matches because people can't blade anymore and it's not really real. And I was like, you want them ECW fans, ain't you? I don't need to see that. I like my wrestling kind of fakeish. I don't know. I like simulated violence. That's why I'm watching this. I know it's not real. Like no. But yeah. ECW, oh my God, Paul Heyman would be in prison if ECW was running now. Some of the shit that, like, serious. Have you heard about? Did you hear about the mass transit
No. What is
when
this?
Oh, okay, real quick. Okay, they were running shows, and I think this guy was a replacement for one of the ECW guys, but it was a guy. His name was Mass Transit, but he was faking like he was a wrestler. He wasn't a real wrestler. He had no experience, but somehow he had way into getting into a match with, I think they called them the Natural Born Killers, and this wrestler named New Jack, who is a piece of shit. Um, there's a spot where he was supposed to blade. For some reason, he didn't like the guy, so he sliced the motherfucker's head open.
Oh.
Eating right, and he sliced his head to like the white fucking meat. Yeah, New Jack is a piece of shit. Like, he had a great gimmick, but he was a terrible wrestler. His purpose was to actually hurt people. Like, that's what he did. There's just like Google New Jack, and I'm sure you'll see plenty of that shit.
Oh.
Wrestling is in a very much better place now.
Yep, than 20 years ago.
Oh, so much better. And like, I got, they said Edge and Christian were the guys who changed the like locker room environment from like assholes who just wanted to politic and go fuck women and drink and do drugs to guys who like, wanted to play video games and shit. So shout out to Edge and Christian for helping progress the wrestling locker room, because I know some of those wrestlers back, they shoot interviews. They loved how high they used to get and how fucked up you used to get and how many women they used to have sex with and all the stupid shit they used to do. So I'm just glad it changed for the better.
Yes. I tell you what, if it hadn't, I would not be here. I assure you that. I'm sure you of that.
I think 2007, what happened with Benoit probably changed a lot.
Changed the game permanently, yeah.
And they had, what was so good about that is that I don't think people really realize what, like, Vince kind of owes CM Punk one, because when that happened, and I guess we'll start to close out the show with this story.
Okay.
This is why I always love CM Punk. When that happened, things Vince did was put the title on CM Punk and put him out there. I thought it was like NBC Dateline or some kind of, and put him out there because he's straight edge, and CM Punk can pass a piss test, and he's not jacked up and roided up. CM Punk took that seriously, and he became one of the leaders in the locker room for living a cleaner lifestyle. And you can see the ripple effects still to this day of his impact in the industry. So oh yeah, let's end on this. What do you think about The Rock calling CM Punk in the ring?
I think it's hilarious, personally. The Rock can do whatever he wants, So like, and that was certainly like probably so much fun for the fans in attendance. Like, this is hilarious. Like, even if nothing comes of it, just the fact that it's happening is a hoot. But it feels really dumb that like if it was on TV, I could understand why like Vince and Paul would be upset about it. But like, it wasn't even on TV. I feel like at some point you guys gotta lighten up a little bit.
I would think Triple H would be more upset than me, because
for sure. For sure, yeah.
Punk, yeah, there's some legal stuff, but Vince is done. Brock Lesnar sued him, so fuck all that shit.
Yeah,
And he's
right.
giving, and he's giving him boatloads of money now. So I think it would probably be more Triple H, but at the same time, CM Punk took a pretty big shit on Triple H. Oh yes, he did, and so kind of understand why he wouldn't like it too much. But like you said, what the fuck can they do to The Rock?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Right? He don't get it in his head to start his own wrestling organization. That's what they need to do.
Right? Seriously. Holy shit.
Because you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna be like, you know what? I got a lot of family in the WWE. When your contract up again?
Oh man.
Also, is there anything you want to cover? Anything else you want to cover this week?
I don't think so. When is Fastlane? Like 3 weeks from now?
No, it's on the 5th. To go home, baby.
Oh shit, is it? God damn.
Yep.
That is coming up fast.
Yep.
I couldn't tell if I was trying to make a pun there or not, so I just kind of left it. Just left it at fast, like trailed off, like I don't have anything else there.
The fast lane came fast. Yeah.
I don't know what's on that card.
The card, is Sasha gonna be on their card? I don't think so.
I don't know. She's dropping the Nia Jax in Germany.
Well, I know Bailey and Charlotte's gonna be on the card.
Right.
Enzo and Cass against the Average Savages for the tag team titles.
Oh God! I thought Cesaro and Sheamus were champions there for a second.
Yeah, I mean they should still be. I don't know why they took the title.
Right, that Sheamus got a thank you Sheamus chant for bro kicking Enzo.
You heard that absolutely correct.
Okay, I'm gonna have to pull that clip up because that sounds amazing.
Yeah, you need to watch that because I got a big hoot out of it. It was funny, but like seeing as how Sheamus and Cesaro in a mini feud with Enzo and Cass. If the point is to put the belts on Enzo and Cass, why the fuck you have to take it off of Sheamus and Cesaro to do that? They just beat them this past Monday. It makes no sense to me. Like, you just want to mix the club in there because, hey, fuck it. They're on the roster. Might as well do something with them.
Put the championships on them for a minute, yeah.
My main event of Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman.
Oh, that should be a hoot.
Like, I seem like I'm forgetting something.
The Universal Championship match?
No, I said KO and Goldberg. I mentioned that. But, like, I don't... That's like 4 matches.
Right? That doesn't seem like a whole lot.
It's not. Wow.
Is there gonna be is it gonna be Sammy Samoa Joe or?
They haven't made it official, but I would.
Yeah.
That is another problem with Raw. They had like a whole month to book this show. Like SmackDown booked Elimination Chamber in 2 weeks.
Yeah, right.
6 weeks to book this show. They got 4 matches. Oh, and that's why we compare Raw and SmackDown.
Yep.
On that note, people, it's been fun. I actually feel better having been on this show. I'm still bummed about Naomi.
I'm glad. I'd let you do most of the talking because I felt like you needed to get some words out, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still it still sucks though.
It's still a bummer. It's a big bummer.
But hopefully I'll be in a better mood next week and we get to talk about the go home for Raw and probably another 80 SmackDown Live.
It won't be an 80. There won't be another 80 for a long time.
Yeah. You say that, but John Cena's on Miss TV. Like
shit.
I don't know how that's possible.
Oh, are you kidding me? And you got Harper and AJ. Oh boy, woo! What a show! What a show!
So for that, thanks everybody for watching. Please follow me at Militia Malice Joe and follow Andrew at andrewmswift on the Twitter machine. And always be good to each other and just, respect the wrestlers, damn it.
Yes. Good night.
Bye.